Gents, there were two teams in the National Football League draft this year that needed a quarterback and didn't get one. Two of them. Okay? Part of the reason why they didn't get one is because the Falcons chose to take one. All right? Which, again, will be something we talk about for a long time. And we have talked about it, but that's not why I'm bringing it up. I'm just saying the reason why the Raiders and Giants left Detroit without a quarterback drafted in the first round, one of them would have taken Penix, but the Falcons jumped the line by taking him. They were obviously sitting there at 8. They didn't trade in to jump the line. They just jumped the line of teams that could have used him. And the Giants sitting there at 6 decided we're not taking McCarthy or Penix or Bo Nix. It's too high for us right here, and we got a guy in Daniel Jones who we've got to play this year. We think he's going to be healthy in time to play this year. His contract gives us one more year to figure it out with him. You know, one of my rumors I heard at the Combine that I came back here to say is they were done with him. And boy, did they try to get Drake May, as the superb offseason Hard Knocks showed. They tried, but got rebuffed because the Patriots were not going to leave the draft without drafting a quarterback third overall. I mean, that's just it. So the Giants passed up a chance to take 3 guys. Instead, took Malik Neighbors for Daniel Jones year 1 and whoever else might be after this year if Jones doesn't perform in the window he has of an opportunity to stay the big blue quarterback. And then the Raiders just couldn't get in. Couldn't trade above Denver, couldn't trade above Minnesota, and couldn't trade above Atlanta. I don't even know if they try to get that high up. We don't know. They weren't part of the Hard Knocks. But here we are through 2 preseason games, and you got to sit here and wonder who's positioned better of these two teams. Certainly coming off of preseason weeks where fires were not lit. Well, the positive ones weren't. The one in New York City metropolitan area. Daniel Jones threw a pick 6. That is exactly why I heard in Indianapolis at the Combine that the Giants were done with him. Plays like the one that he just did. Plays like the one that a guy who's played as much time in the NFL shouldn't be making. Plays that guys who are smart enough to go to Duke are smart enough to know. Don't throw it. My gosh, 2 interceptions. Houston Texans just beat the crap out of the Giants. And again, I know it's preseason, fine. But this is exactly the sort of final score against a team like the Texans that have got division hopes, conference hopes, Super Bowl hopes written all over them. And the Giants have got a ton of teams like that on their schedule. 2 of them in division, I might add. The final score and the results look exactly like what Giants fans are worried about, nervous about. Jones makes mistakes. The playmakers are not up to snuff when Saquon isn't there anymore. Didn't help. Preseason, you bet. And as Brian Daboll said afterwards, that's what these games are for, to evaluate. Hit it.
Well, I thought there was 2 plays that I'd like to have back, that we'd like to have back, but I thought he played fast. I mean, it's different when you're out there in practice. This was good for him to get out there and get some live reps with a rush and the ability to get hit. He had that scramble. But I'd say he operated well in the pocket. Obviously, the backed up play, we've talked about that one. We'd all like to have that one back. The interception, it's a one-on-one throw down the sideline to Hyatt. So got to do a good job of saving some space and going up there and giving him opportunity. Then if the ball's up there, we got to go up there and get it. So I thought he made a lot of good decisions as the game went on. Made some nice throws and guys created some separation and a couple drops. But first time out there after a long layoff, live ball. So it was good for him.
Okay.
Okay.
He said after the game, that's what these games are for, evaluating. Yeah. He evaluated, looked at the tape, he saw some things that he liked, and he's going to give him, as well, I think everybody should, the benefit of the doubt. That the guy didn't play much last year because he got hurt. Now he's against the Houston Texans in Houston. Going to play fast. And there was one soiled bed and another throw that, as he said, Hyatt's got to go get it. Also, fresh reminder, that kid from Tennessee's on the team, too. Him and Neighbors. Some young, good receivers are there. Mm-hmm. Can we get a good running game out of him? Yeah, former Texan.
Yeah, what does Singletary have?
And Devin Singletary. Let's see. But if Daniel Jones is going to still regress, that goes without saying. We will see. Because, at least for the Giants, we're not going to see other guys, I don't believe, that they could have had perform this year to put even more pressure on that they made a mistake.
Yeah, that's a oddly unfortunate good break for them.
Well, unfortunate for J.J. McCarthy that he's out for the season.
And Michael Penix probably won't play much.
Well, he shouldn't. He shouldn't. And by the way, the reason why Penix isn't playing in the preseason right now, he didn't play this week, and he's not going to play next week, to me, isn't an indictment of Penix. What it is to me is they've seen enough out of him. They're not going to get him hurt. I understand that he could use some reps, but he's going to be the backup quarterback. And they're probably putting him out there, sitting him on the bench so they could throw Taylor Heineke out there. Who wants him? Who wants to flip us a 5 or a 6 or a 4? Could we even get a 3 if somebody's desperate enough? Could the Vikings look at their depth chart and say,
exactly.
That step after Darnold to Hall is a little bit too steep for us. Maybe we get Taylor Heineke. We had a nightmare last year on our depth chart. Let's lengthen it. I don't know. I'm not sitting here saying, the Falcons are screwing up the Penix thing. I'm saying I think they probably are.
It's a Heineke thing.
It's a Heineke. It's a who wants him.
Yeah.
And if they don't trade him, then they're the ones got depth, because how many times last year did you see somebody with a third-string quarterback? That said, the Raiders. You want to be a little positive? That kid, Trey Turner, right? He's showing some things. Devontae Adams isn't out there yet. Brock Bowers, hopefully he'll be healthy, right? Time for week 1 against the Chargers. What?
It's going to be. They got 2 good tight ends.
Listen, Mayer as well. Listen, folks, the autumn wind is Gardner Minshew's, and we've been saying this for months. You don't give the contract that the Raiders gave to Gardner Minshew, and I know it's not $40 million a year, $50 million a year, but you don't pay your backup quarterback that. Unless you've got a Brock Purdy type guy that just takes control and is 100% head and shoulders above the veteran backup who you're paying, and you got to play the kid. And Aiden O'Connell, I don't think, played like that in the first couple preseason games. As a matter of fact, neither guy lit any fires against the Cowboys. As you point out, TJ, that's not a defense you want to go against if you're looking to make some preseason hay and get a head of steam going.
No,
okay.
Sir.
So there was some good, there was some bad from O'Connell. The same thing with Minshew. But after the game, when everybody asked Antonio Pierce, do you know who the quarterback's going to be? He gave a very honest answer without naming names.
You can't take the good and not take the bad, right? So wish it ended well for both gentlemen, right? And it just didn't. And we'll look at it, we'll evaluate. They both had opportunities. Aiden had 20 attempts and Minshew had 21. So about as balanced and as we can get it, and we'll look at it. Obviously, you saw what our plan was tonight, throw the ball around, let these guys showcase what they can do, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah. He said he wished the preseason could have ended better for both. But then a day later said it's Minshew. Makes sense. Guy's got more experience. Go with him. And if it doesn't work, again, the contract isn't so rich that they can't just say, screw it, we're going with Aiden O'Connell. The guy actually performed well at the end of last year. But you just got to sit here and wonder. They could have been in a position with a rookie quarterback trying to grow with him. Instead, they got Minshew, and hopefully maybe he can be like a story of the year. Wouldn't that be amazing if he's like the 21st century Stabler?
Yeah, maybe. We talked about this last week, Rich, with Kirk Morrison. You know who's a quarterback out there, a veteran guy, unsigned, is Ryan Tannehill. And where is he going to land? If one of these teams has an injury, needs some depth, that's a guy who could have a Flacco-like turn to the season where Joe kind of saved the Browns and got them into the playoffs.
Can I say something totally wild?
Sure.
Why not Pittsburgh?
I don't think that's crazy at this point.
Best years of Tannehill's career. Arthur Smith was the OC.
Well, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields are not lighting anything on fire right now.
And that'll be something we talk about in a few minutes with Jerry Dulac. I'll throw his name out there.
Black and gold. Here we go.
Wouldn't that be wild? But why?
It would be wild. But he's out there right now, not on a team. We don't know if he still wants to play. I haven't really heard much from him, but I got to imagine he's in shape and ready, waiting for the call.
It would be awful tough to just. That's why. At least the reason why I mentioned Pittsburgh is because the OC he's familiar with what they'd be running. One would think.
Yeah.
But at any rate, I just loop sort of these two teams together because they were the ones out of the mosh pit of Chicago. One would assume they didn't need a quarterback. They just decided they were going to take one. And because he's so damn special, Washington, New England, Minnesota, the Giants, the Raiders, and the Broncos. They all came out with quarterbacks except for the Giants and the Raiders. And part of the reason why is Atlanta shocked everybody. Would Penix have been sitting there 13th overall? How much of a different conversation would we be having about the Raiders season right now if Penix was the one going through the preseason?
I think there'd be a lot of hype on them.
I think there would be.
Devontae Adams would probably be a little happier.
Potentially. Well, who knows? Gardner can have like a moment, which would be fun. For the Raiders and Raider fans. But you got to be sitting here wondering how the Chiefs are feeling going into the season with Mahomes behind the back shovel passing to Travis Kelce, right? And the Broncos are starting their rookie, Bo Nix, who looked good.
Yep.
He looked good. But against the Packers, too. The Packers played nobody.
Sure, but he looked good.
He looked good. Yeah, which is, by the way, the opposite would have been like, oh, God, he didn't look good against the Packers, too. So you got to give it up that he did his best and performed very well against the Packers, too. So the Broncos are starting a rookie, and it's entirely possible the other two teams in the division start with each other, and it's going to be Gardner Minshew versus Easton Stick. How are the Chiefs feeling?
Pretty good.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.